How's it going, everybody? My name is Warner Fields with Fields of Profit. I'm a six-figure Amazon seller and full-time student, and in this video I'm going to be going through 3 different ways that I like to source for online arbitrage. Each of these ways has pros and cons, so I'm going to be kind of going through the methods, some potential options for you to find products at different price points as far as the software is involved and all that. But before we do that, if you guys could help me out, I'm going to be helping out your business in this video, so if you could hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate that. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. So the first method that I like to use is definitely the most tedious method. It's probably the one that involves the least tools. I would call it probably the traditional manual method of doing online arbitrage, which is where you're simply going to a website and searching for those products on Amazon to see if they're profitable. And if that sounds like a ton of work, you are right. But there are ways to do it a lot faster, a lot more efficiently. And this is actually one of my favorite ways to source on Amazon because you're able to see some things that softwares and other things that we'll talk about later won't be able to pick up on. The best way that I know how to source with this method is using coupons and cash back. And let's say, I would say the best way to do this is to go to a category. Usually you don't want it to have a ton of items because you don't want to search through 1,000 items, right? Let's say, so a category that I have a good amount of experience with and I'm pretty confident is with vitamins. So let's say Vitacost is doing some kind of a buy one get one half or something like that kind of sale. I would go through, kind of eyeball the vitamins a little bit and search the ones that I think might be profitable into Amazon. You'll learn this over time, but when you're first starting out, this can be a great way to kind of learn what is and what isn't profitable just by looking up all those products. And while you're at it, you're going to be getting some of those deep discounts. I would only recommend doing this method, the kind of manually comparing a category to Amazon manually if the coupon is very significant or the category you're looking at has very high volume products. So let's say a brand like a very popular vitamin brand like One A Day or one of the brands that's on every shelf in the country. If there's a really good sale on those, then it could be worth searching every title. But if you've got 1,000 off-brand vitamins that you've never heard of, it's probably not going to be super worth your time to go ahead and run through those, just because you're going to find not as many per search, right? So online arbitrage is about finding the highest amount of profitable products per page you look at, right? So we're all about trying to figure out those products that we can look at that we're getting very cheap, has very good demand and all that. I really like the manual method, especially on those high volume categories with products that I'm familiar with. I'd say that's probably the best way to use manual. And there's also a great way you can pair that with some softwares, which is the second method that I'm going to go ahead and talk about in this video. I would call this using a tool like Tactical Arbitrage or Source Mogul or any of those scanning softwares that you like to use. Basically, with those softwares, you can plug in any website on the internet almost, and you're going to search it for individual categories, or you can search the whole website. And I would say the best way to kind of pair the manual method with the softwares, because the softwares have some pretty major issues with finding the same products everyone else is finding, right? If you're just running a regular scan of Walmart at retail price, everybody and their VA is going to be finding those same products. Those prices are probably going to tank. But if you're able to pair that with the manual method of, we're going back to the example of a Vitacost sale, where you're essentially getting 25% off, you can plug that into Tactical Arbitrage and then scan that one individual category using Tactical Arbitrage. So it's kind of going to do that manual sourcing a little bit faster for you. Now, one major downside of using scanning softwares is that it doesn't often see multi-packs and especially bundles where the product is different. So for example, one I found recently for a video was like a hot sauce where it was 2 different flavors of hot sauce. A scanning software would have never seen that, but doing that manual method would have picked up on that. So there are some major gaps in using scanning softwares, so that's why you're going to want to kind of pair it with that manual method where you're, especially on those listings with high volume, those products that have really good pricing, you're going to want to search those manually as well as plug those into Tactical Arbitrage, because Tactical Arbitrage will pick up the easy ones to find. Those scanning softwares are going to save you some time, but if you want to really get those super profitable, super high volume listings, you're going to have to dig a little deeper and go to those barriers of entry, which in this case is just putting in a little bit of extra work. But that said, using a scanning software like Tactical Arbitrage, personally using that paired with that manual method is definitely my favorite way to find products to sell on Amazon. There's also some other major benefits of using scanning softwares. Mostly just using a scanning software is probably the most efficient use of your time. If you're at a point in your business where you're looking to spend your money as fast as possible and your time is scarce, using a scanning software is probably going to be the best way to devote that time, just because that scanning software is going to get through so much of those menial comparing each individual product for you. I would recommend jumping into a scanning software if you have a little bit of experience with online arbitrage and you're looking to spend money faster. If you wanted to go ahead and check out Tactical Arbitrage, there's a link down below for you guys. I got you a longer free trial if you want to check that one out. But that does bring us into the last method of online arbitrage that I want to talk about. I would probably say that this one is the most beginner friendly, and this is something that myself and my team still do to this day. It is a great way to find products on Amazon. It's essentially just the reverse method. Basically, you're going to find storefronts where they are already selling product, right? And reasonably, we can infer that some of their products are profitable. If they're still selling on Amazon, they're probably making a little bit of money. So basically, you're just going to go to the storefronts of other Amazon sellers. If this sounds complicated and you want a longer tutorial on that, there's going to be a tutorial up here, one of those two corners. A little disoriented with the way the video is shooting, but one of those two corners is going to be a video that is going to direct you kind of step by step on how you can do this manual method. But you're just going to find those products that other sellers are already profitably selling. You're going to need to use some tools like Keepa to validate that the item is actually selling. It's selling for that price. But this is a great way to find replenishables, I've found, because using this reverse method is similar to the manual method. You kind of see through some things that scanning softwares will miss. So that can be a great way to find those products that stay evergreen for a longer time, just because those scanning softwares aren't picking up on it and there's less people seeing those products. Those tend to be better replenishables. You can also get down into specific niches fairly easily this way, because we all have different products we like to sell, right? So if you're able to find maybe a grocery seller with a whole bunch of grocery products, you want to get deeper into grocery replenishables and stuff like that. You could start with one of your grocery replens, or start with some Walmart branded grocery products to start finding grocery replens. But that can be a great way to find those replens, find those bundles, the stuff that the manual and especially the scanning softwares, those methods will miss. But with that said, I will reiterate that my personal favorite is definitely pairing Tactical Arbitrage with those coupon deals that you kind of manually find, going from site to site looking for the best coupons, plug those coupon deals into Tactical Arbitrage, and then sort the data from there. If you want a longer tutorial on learning that process with Tactical Arbitrage, it's going to be up in the corner of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you got any value out of it, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want some more free information from us, I do have a completely free Amazon seller Discord. It should have about 10,000 members in it by the time that this video goes up. So I would love to see you in there. Drop it in the introduce section if you came from this video. I'd love to see you in there. We've got tons of great information, ungating, sourcing, lots of free information in there. And if you have any questions about anything I talked about in this video, please feel free to drop those down below. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.